That's the sentinel quail, and it sits on top of the Joshua trees. All right, folks, this is it. Here we are. That's where we came from, those snow-covered peaks. How cool is that out here in the heart of the desert? Well, good afternoon, folks. We are on our way to Joshua Tree, just leaving Las Vegas right now. I am so excited. I've got a night at 2 different campsites. I have spammed the reservation board for like 6 months trying to find an open campsite. One of my nights is going to be at Black Rock Canyon, and I wasn't previously planning any hikes or adventures out that way. So this kind of forces me to check it out, and actually I saw there's a really cool looking trail right off the campsite, so that turned out to be pretty cool. Providence at work. Anyway, gonna concentrate on the road here, and I will see you soon. I pulled over for a minute just to get out and stretch my legs and take a look around. I think I'm either already in or right at the border of the Mojave National Preserve. Right over there are the, I think that's the Kelso sand dunes. There's 2 sets of sand dunes at Mojave National Preserve. Maybe I'll see some signs on the way through it, but I'll find out more for sure when I come back. Yeah, just taking a little breather. It's gorgeous. And the weather's fantastic too. I think it's about 83 or so. Anyway, time to get going. Alright folks, this is it. Here we are. Got everything set up. Well, I got the tent set up. Oh man, this is just amazing. Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, I've been trying to get a spot here for like 6 months. I started looking when the weather got cool enough to actually come out and enjoy it, but no luck. This is probably one of the more packed parks. You wouldn't know it though, because it's actually like, if you look around, I don't see anybody. I mean, there's other campsites close by, but you definitely have your privacy. This is really awesome. Alright, I'm gonna cook my dinner. I actually need to get that fire started first. But yeah, let me go ahead and get cooking so I can eat. I'm starving, and it's probably going to be a good 45 minutes before that fire is going and the food is able to rehydrate and whatnot. Oh, right on. Yeah, I was about to say a watch pot never boils, but it's boiling. So we're going to be having the cheese enchilada ranchera tonight. If you're out west, this close to the Mexican border, Why not? I'm actually pretty excited for this. I haven't tried this one before. It's kind of amazing when you get excited about freeze-dried food, but... Well, it smells pretty good at least. Got about 10 more minutes. If you're not watching the pot boil, you're watching your food rehydrate. But goodness, let me tell you, this place is peaceful. I'm in heaven. Is much visited as Joshua Tree National Park is. I was really not expecting to have like so much privacy and peace and quiet. I've seen a couple people walk up and down the camp roads, but it's pretty much every campsite's really well hidden. This is awesome. I'm looking forward to the night sky too. This is supposed to be like one of the really dark sky parks, and we aren't expecting even a bit of rain, so I'm not putting my cover on my tent tonight. Just gonna steer up at the stars. Alright, it's ready. Let's see how this tastes. It smells really good. That's pretty excellent. Recommend. So it's pretty cool. When I got here, there was this flower over here, and it was completely sealed up. And after dust started to come on, it just boom opened right up. I guess it's some kind of night blooming flower. Let me actually get some light on it, because I know the GoPro doesn't do so hot in low light. That is really pretty and really cool. It is so beautiful out. The temperature is wonderful. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm actually almost a little bit chilly with the wind. I was worried that I was going to be here too late in the season and it was just going to be unbearably hot, but it's absolutely perfect. It's quite the night. I'm going to look at the sky for a little bit longer and try and get some sleep. See you all tomorrow. Let's do it. Just check out all those cool rock formations. Indian Cove and the Ryan Mountain area are riddled with a landscape of Monzo granite boulders, etched with and molded into seemingly impossible geometric patterns. The alien-like landscape was in fact created by the very natural process of the heating and cooling of magma under the Earth's crust that causes fractures called joints in the forming Monzo granite. Over time, the forces of water pressure seeping into the joints and erosion further carved out the stunning shapes and formations that we see here today. Oh, sweet, look at that. That is a pretty bloom. Very nice. Awesome, I just about walked by that guy. Didn't even move. Well, there we go. That's the first Joshua tree I've seen in a little bit. I was starting to guess we're probably past the elevation of their sweet spot for growing, but one might ask, why are they called the Joshua tree? That's actually one of my favorite factoids. The early pioneers that explored these areas were looking for their own version of the promised land, and these trees with all their branches kind of reached out, reminded them of the biblical hero Joshua as he was prepared to lead the Israelites into the Holy Land, the promised land. So that's just like an extra cool thing. It really kind of makes you think about that plight through their wilderness and through this wilderness. But in the wilderness there is beauty, and the Lord does create streams in the desert. I was getting close, but that guy just passed me and he's like, "This is tough, man." I said, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, this isn't it." I said, "No." He said it winds all the way around this mountain. We'll get there. We'll get there. Probably about time I break out my hat. The sun is beating down. It's actually only, I think, 86 today, which really doesn't sound bad. Just the direct sun the whole path is kind of brutal at times. This is so pretty. Apologize if that wind in the camera is a little loud, but I do appreciate that breeze. It is really nice right now. Well, I'm gonna take a food break, hang out for a little while. All right, one last look at Ryan Mountain. After being refreshed by the cool breeze and sublime views from atop Ryan Mountain, I bid farewell and made my way to the Black Rock Canyon area. While the Black Rock campground did not afford the same isolation and privacy as Indian Rocks, it was a beautiful location nonetheless, completely immersed amongst large Joshua trees as far as the eye could see. Before settling in for the night, I took a walk to the canyon trailhead area at the edge of camp and watched the sunset over a panoramic view of the mountains and valleys. With my mind at peace and my heart content, I returned to camp for a beautiful night of full moon light shining its rays through the arms of the surrounding Joshua trees. Well, greetings. It is day 3 at Joshua Tree National Park. I am taking a hike out towards Warren Peak. I don't know if I'll make it all the way. I have to check out of my campsite by noon, which only gives me a couple hours to get out here. But I don't really care if I make it all the way. I just want to see this part of the park. I took a little tour of this canyon last night after I got camp set up, and it was really pretty. So even 2 hours is great. What a beautiful night, though. I had a different campsite this time at the Black Rock campground, and it doesn't have the impressive boulders that the Indian Cove one did, but there are Joshua trees everywhere, like really thick strands, and I slept right under one. It was really cool to kind of wake up and see the shadow of the arms like kind of hanging over you. Kind of get your mind going with fantasies, like they're Joshua tree ants or something. One of the really cool things is the signs at the campground said all campgrounds full, which, as I've mentioned earlier, that Joshua tree is like always full, always packed with people. I think it has like some 2 million people, visitors a year, but it's such an expansive place. Look, rabbit, hey buddy. I'm not gonna bother you. Yeah, so anyway, it's such an expansive place that as long as you're not like congregating in like the maybe a handful of main attractions, which really are more like just stops and not necessarily like big crowded hikes, you're gonna have pretty much the park to yourself, or at least maybe a couple of the people who are seeking the same solitude and have that same mindset. So it's almost kind of nice to meet those folks. It's like there's times you wish you were alone, and there's times that you appreciate people who are like-minded. But this is pretty. Okay, so this is the trail we're gonna do. Like I said, I'm not sure if we'll make it the whole way before I have to get back and check out on my campsite, but we'll do our best. So we're currently here. Came up from the campground down here, and we're gonna come up to the panorama loop. Actually, no. I'm gonna skip this loop because it's longer, and I'm gonna go right over here to the peak if we can do it. So let's get a move on. I don't know if you can hear it, but there's a bird in the distance. I was hearing the sound since this morning, even by the campground, and I couldn't figure out what it was. It was kind of a different call for me, not being from around here. And a nice gentleman walking by just actually randomly offered the information that was a Gambel's quail. So kind of cool. He said that's the sentinel quail, and it sits on top of the Joshua trees and like kind of alerts the colony, or whatever you want to call them, that they're, you know, potential danger. If you get too close, he'll hop down, but that little cry is a cry of warning. Oh, that's really pretty. You know, this area might not have the science fiction fantasy look and feel of the other part of the park, but the piece here, actually I think I like it better. It's those moments when you find your place of serenity, that everything is just okay. Oh, here's a sign. Let's see if it gives me an idea if I can make it to Warren Peak or not. No, actually it's just announcing the split off of the panorama loop. So I'm going this way. You can see a shift in the ecosystem. This trail's about 5.5 to 6 miles round trip, but as you probably saw in the video earlier, a lot of it is a very slow grade up until the last mile or so, and then it ascends quickly. Oh man, for the first time in my life, it's good to see some switchbacks. I thought this ascent was going to be straight up just like the rest of the trail. Okay, that was an excuse to breathe. Here we go. And look at that view. Oh my goodness. Oh, that was a pretty lookout. Now we go. That's where we came from. I could not have imagined a more magical moment as I approached the sharp pinnacle of Warren Peak. I was greeted by circling butterflies and majestic birds gliding on the breeze in seemingly whimsical fashion. As my eyes crossed over the peak and into the unobstructed sky, I was finally rewarded with a 360-degree view of Coachella Valley, Mount San Gorgonio, San Jacinto Peak, and the Little San Bernardino Mountains. I love looking at all the little Joshua trees all around. Well, they're not little, but they look small from up here. It's just like tons of people, tree people hanging out in the valley, dotting the landscape. And man, those snow-covered peaks. How cool is that out here in the heart of the desert? Wow, this has been quite the experience, and I just want to thank all of you for watching and for coming along with me on my journeys. It's awesome to be out here alone, but it's kind of also fun to feel like I got some adventure buddies with me, just talking to the camera, knowing that folks are watching, and hopefully all of you can get out here one of these days, check it out yourself if you haven't already, and just enjoy this beautiful scenery, serenity, this peace, the wildlife. I've had some very friendly lizards on this trip, especially that last collard a few minutes ago. Just give me a few minutes to take a good shot of them. That's pretty much it. I'll see y'all on the ground. Thank you.